Hey guys!
Hi!
We are the WW Gays, or the Weight Loss Gays, and we are today filming another recipe for you guys.
We are.
This is something we posted on Twitter before, on our Twitter feed, so if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at Jean-Luc and Nick1. So it's spelled Jeanlucandnick 1. So the number 1. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, go ahead, and we share recipes on there as well as pictures and progress of things that's going on in our lives.
Exactly.
And so today we're making pizza.
Pizza dough. Actually, pizza dough from scratch.
Yeah, from scratch.
But this is a dough that a lot of people have heard about, and we love it. It's now become our favorite pizza dough ever. It's the 2-ingredient dough. We used to make our own pizza dough from scratch. We actually bought a bread maker to make fresh pizza dough, and now that we started using this dough,
it's so much better.
We don't use any other dough. Yeah, we won't go back. It's easy to make, plus it's pretty good for you. It's not terrible for you, right? It's easy to point out. So all you basically need is yogurt. Again, Greek yogurt is 0% fat-free Greek yogurt. Any brand works. It doesn't really matter. And the next ingredient you need is self-rising flour. This one's Brody's. This is the only one that we can find here.
You might find other brands.
There might be other brands. You go for it. It doesn't matter. I guess I heard as well you can make it yourself.
Yeah.
I never did any research on that.
Look it up if you want.
But look it up where it's just regular flour, and I think you add
baking
soda powder. I don't know which one it is.
So just look it up if you
want. Yeah, look it up if you want to make it yourself if you can't find that. So it's pretty simple. I already measured it out. I have a cup of the Greek yogurt measured out here. And then the next thing I need is a cup and a half of flour, of the self-rising flour.
And so this makes, so the entire recipe here is 18 points for the dough. But this makes 2 personal sized pizzas. So each pizza dough is 9 points.
9 points. And there are these sizes here.
Exactly. So we'll start mixing the dough. Jean-Luc's going to start doing that now. And then we'll show you guys how to roll it out and what ingredients we put on. And in the end, you'll see how much, what the pizza looks like and how good it looks.
And how yummy it tastes.
Exactly.
See you in a bit. So basically, I'm taking the 1 cup of yogurt, I'm putting it right into our bread maker. We don't have a stand mixer, but if you do have a stand mixer, feel free to use that. I think it would be great. One day we will have a stand mixer. You can make this dough by hand as well, if I'm not mistaken. We've never tried it by hand, so I don't want to go ahead and tell you how to go ahead by making it, but I'm sure there are other people online who have posted this recipe and have made it by hand. So there's the cup of yogurt. Now I'm putting the cup and a half of self-rising flour. So there's the 1 cup. And there's the cup and a half. So now basically what you just do is you turn on the machine. I'm pretty lucky. I just have to turn on the machine. But I'm going to tell you guys this right now is the fact that I sit here and I watch my dough. I watch my dough mix because what I want to make sure is I want to make sure that the flour and the yogurt are mixing together properly. And I want this to turn into a ball. And a lot of times the yogurt does not have enough moisture in order to make this into a perfect ball. So I'm gonna just keep an eye on it, and as we go along here, and Nick's still filming for me, I add a little bit of water. I add just a bit of water to get that dough into that ball of dough and all these ingredients to stick together properly.
So as you can see, it's just mixing right now. Like we said, you can do this by hand. What we've heard though, if you do it by hand, it's a little sticky, but it is doable. We prefer using the. If you have the tool to make something a little easier, like a bread mixer, it does make life a little easier.
Or a stand
mixer too. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's very flaky down there at the bottom. I'm not sure if I don't see what you guys see right now. So I just add a little bit of water just to start. I don't want to add too much because the more water you add, the stickier the dough gets, and you don't want this dough to be completely sticky, but you want to make sure that all of the ingredients are stuck into one big ball of dough. I think I just dropped a piece. I'll get that later. It's going through, it's spinning. And like we were saying earlier, this pizza dough is just phenomenal. We've not only made pizza with this dough, we've made other recipes with it. I've made pizza bombs instead of making one big pizza. I cut it into small little 1-point portions.
That might be something we could actually do a recipe for in the future as well.
Yeah, it's something we could do, and we've made dessert with this dough before as well, which we could probably show you guys what to do with that.
Yeah, so one of the times Jean-Luc actually stuffed each. So you made the same 18-point dough, but split the dough to have each into 4. So the one portion into 4. So each ended up being 5 points. But inside he stuffed it with apples
and I made a caramel brown sugar sauce. But again, we used the Splenda brown sugar.
And so
if
it
you like it.
So it ended up being a 5-point dessert.
And look at that. Just a little bit of water. I didn't add any other water, and it just all of a sudden became a beautiful ball of dough. And this dough here, you don't need to let it sit for a lengthy period of time or anything like that.
It's ready to go.
It's absolutely ready to go. So I'm gonna actually stop this right now, and I'm gonna pull this out, and there you go. We've got a beautiful dough here. So I'm gonna lay this over here, lay this on there. Real quick. And then now we basically roll it out. So I take a little bit more flour, of course, right? It is a stickier dough. I'm gonna roll this out. But before we even roll it out, I gotta cut this into 2 portions. So we actually have a scale that we use. It's not perfect, but it actually gives you an idea of weighing things, especially when you're wanting to make sure you're portioning things evenly. And of course it's being picky, it doesn't want to turn on. There we go. So this dough here weighs, how much does it say? 374 grams. So if we're dividing that by 2, we're looking at 150. 150 is 374 and a half.
40, 35.
35, so
36.
so 180, 80 something?
Yeah.
So
167.
That's 204, so a little bit off of that one. Add it to that one. There we go. So now we have 2 portions of dough that are almost identical. It's really hard to get them exactly identical, but and I have to pull out my rolling pin. Where's my rolling pin? Never thought I'd use a rolling pin as much as I do, but when we were going hardcore, well, we still are, but when we first started this whole journey, this became our Friday night or Saturday night cheat meal because it was so easy to make.
And not just that, pizza is one of the things that was really important. Like, it's one of our favorite foods.
Well, it's easy to get to, right? You can always order it. And
exactly. Like when we were
always accessible.
before we started Weight Watchers, before we started doing this journey, we used to order pizza off, like not excessively, but at least on a Friday night, it was tended to be that or Chinese food is what we would order.
Yeah, those were
and when we started this journey, we were like, oh my god, how are we going to replace these, these different meals that we love? And so we were able to find a way to replace our pizza by doing this recipe. And the dough is so good that it works. Like it's perfect.
We don't want to go eat pizza anywhere else
anymore. Like we haven't had pizza from anywhere else except for home since January. We have not ordered takeout.
As you can see, I actually rolled my dough a lot bigger than the actual pan. And that's because Nick and I like stuffed crust pizza. So we take
cheese string,
a 1-point cheese string.
Yeah.
And
so now you're up to 10 points. So the
10 points for your pizza.
Pizza's 10 points right now. So you just put that there, and then you fold over the edges.
And then you fold over the edges.
And then you have a stuffed crust
And then
pizza.
you have a personal pan stuffed crust pizza. And it's not like you're going to get a lot of cheese in there, but it's kind of nice when you do bite into it. You get this little added bonus.
And so like so. So that's the first one. So the pizza itself, the toppings that we are going to use today, so we have in the background here, while Jean-Luc is preparing the second one, you have our homemade tomato sauce. So we plan on doing a recipe, or a video at one point, explaining how we do our tomato sauce. Jean-Luc is also going to have mushrooms and hot peppers on his pizza. And we also have, for the crust, we have the Everything But the Bagel Sesame seasoning blend, which is someone from work actually got that for us, and it's can't wait to try it on the crust.
And this crust, actually, this dough, you can make 1-point bagels with it, supposedly, and use this seasoning on top of it, and then you have like a perfect little breakfast meal.
So the other thing that we have that we put in our pizza is we use turkey pepperoni, which is right here from Butterball. So we also use that. It's 10 pepperoni is 1 point. So you're able to put quite a substantial amount on your pizza and not.
We usually only put 10.
You usually put 10. I sometimes put a bit more because I don't like too many of the vegetables that he puts on his pizza. But that's another thing that we use. So now he's finishing up the second pizza.
I'm just gonna go ahead and stuff this crust real quick. But you see how well this dough and how easy it was for me to work with this dough? Like, honestly, whoever would have thought that Greek yogurt and flour would make such an incredible dough? I never would have thought. Never at all in a million years. And
fold that in.
Once you actually eat it, everybody who we've made this for was pretty darn impressed with it.
Yeah, they all want the recipe for
They're
the dough.
Like, really? This is yogurt?
That's why we're sharing their pizza.
And that's why we thought we'd share it. And it's not ours. We found this online through Weight Watchers.
Yes.
Like, this is totally not our
we're just sharing it with everyone.
But we thought we'd share it because not everybody knows about it, right?
So then,
move that out of the way.
So then start making the pizza. We also have back here, so I didn't show that yet, we also have cheese. So cheese, this one is 4 points per 30 grams. It's pizza mozzarella. We prefer getting cheese that are a little lower in points, but for some reason that's the one we had on sale. And we thought, we can deal with the 1 extra point. So we put exactly the 30 grams.
Yeah, so which comes out to a quarter of a cup.
Quarter of a cup, yeah. So Jean-Luc's right now adding sauce. So
is that enough for you, Hannah, or do you want more?
I like it saucy.
I should have known. And actually, it's really fun because this pizza dough really absorbs. It's so weird what it does. It doesn't leak or it doesn't get it's not thin at all. It looks like a thin dough, but it's not.
It actually plumps up.
It gets sturdy and it's crunchy and it's delicious.
And something. So we're going to be putting that on, and then our toppings. So I'll let Jean-Luc take care of that.
I'm not as saucy as he is, as you can see.
So essentially, you top your pizza, then once you're done, you put it in the oven. You cook it for how long again? 20 minutes?
About 20 minutes at 400,
right?
Yeah.
So, and then once it comes out, you should check on it because sometimes we leave it a little longer because we like our pizza a little crispy. And then you know what? Once we pull it out later, we will actually show you guys what it looks like, so you guys can see what we do once it's done. And then you'll see the final product, how good it looks once it's cooked and all. 10 pepperoni. So right now, if you counted, the total points for that pizza right now is 9 points for the dough, 1 point for the cheese string, which makes it 10, another point for the turkey pepperoni, which makes it 11, and then 4 points for the cheese. And like I said, if you find a cheaper cheese, that works as well.
Yeah.
And that's
you don't even need to put cheese if you don't want to.
And then this makes it a 15-point pizza in the end. Which is not too bad, because if you're buying a full, and normally when we have this, we only have the pizza because it's really filling, and we have a salad with it, and so it makes it, a little, the salad itself ends up being 0 points, and the pizza is 15, so your whole dinner, or whatever meal you're trying to replace, or you're trying to have, is 15 points, which isn't too bad, especially for pizza, because pizza normally tends to be very high in points, especially per slice. So this allows you to have, and not just that, it's kind of fun because you can each make your own. You can each have whatever you want. Because I know maybe not everyone's like me, but I'm a very fussy person, so I don't like having mushrooms on my pizza. I'm a purist. All you weird people out there.
All he has is
all you
pepperoni.
Weird people out there with all your fancy, ham and other ingredients. I can't do that.
I love it.
So this allows you for each person to make exactly what they want, and this way you don't have,
Not only, what's really nice about the size of these pans too is you each have your own pizza.
Yeah, and it's enough.
It's a portion.
Yeah, it's a portion.
That
you don't have any extra.
And guess what?
Left over.
Why eat the entire pizza in one sitting? If you think half of a pizza is enough for you, boom, you have an 8-point meal, and then boom, tomorrow you have an 8-point lunch. You have 2 more slices for tomorrow.
Yep. We tend to eat the entire thing.
We do.
But like we said before, we
but we plan for these meals though.
Yeah, but we eat.
Yeah.
We don't. That's the one thing that we never. We can't say that we've stopped eating, being on Weight Watchers. We still eat quite a bit. But what we changed is what we eat
and how we eat.
And that's what's really worked for us. We still eat quite a ton. We have, we still do our points, whatever we have per day. But we tend to eat a lot of healthier ingredients, a lot more whole.
We make a lot more better choices than we've ever made in the past.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really makes a huge difference is the fact that the choices we've made or we make now actually really help us in this whole journey.
Yeah, so this is the pizza. So now we're gonna put it in the oven.
Nope.
Well, you spray with olive oil first. It helps the crust get golden, and that's 0 points. And then also spraying on top the bagel seasoning to give it a little taste. And we also put on a bit of Parmesan cheese.
There's that.
Parmesan cheese is back there, and there you go.
A sprinkle of the Parmesan on top. And a sprinkle of the Parmesan on top. Do you want the Italiano too, hun? Or no?
No, that's good.
And I like the Italiano on mine, so I put a little bit of the Italiano on mine. And there you go.
It's ready for the oven. So we'll put it in, and once it's ready, we'll pull it out and show you guys what it looks like. See you on the other side.
Hi everybody, guess what? Our pizzas are done. We took them out of the oven. They're looking amazing. It smelled amazing in the house. This is mine right over here with the mushrooms and onions and hot peppers. Then we have Nick's over here, which only has cheese and pepperoni.
Yummy.
And we always, when we take it out of the oven, Nick also likes to spray the crust with just a little bit of the extra virgin olive oil, light tasting, 0 points. And then adding a little bit of Parmesan cheese to that crust again, which is another 0 points. You might see over to the other side of our plate, we have some Caesar salad here. This is actually a 0 point Caesar salad that I make with yogurt, which, guess what? We'll make sure that we post that recipe next, okay?
Yeah, next time
we'll post that for you guys. So this salad here is a 2 point Caesar salad because we have 2 tablespoons of Caesar croutons, which are 1 point for 2 tablespoons.
Yeah.
And then we also have some bacon bits. That only bacon we eat is bacon bits now, and it's only when we have Caesar salad. And it's 1 tablespoon for 1 point. So there's a 2 point salad. I added a little bit of onions to mine.
And then the pizza itself, the crust was 9 points, the pepperoni was 1, and the cheese was 4 points, so for a total of 15. So the entire dinner is 17 points.
A 17-point dinner, and we did add a little bit of the leftover Caesar dressing onto our pizzas as a dipping sauce.
So it'll be amazing.
Absolutely delicious. We can't wait to dig in.
Yeah, it smells so good. I'm tired of filming.
Ah.
So if you guys want to see more recipes, just comment send us some comments below. Send us some messages. We're on Twitter with Jean-Luc and Nick1, and if you want to follow us on Twitter, send us messages there, or send us messages on here on YouTube, or even follow us on Instagram. I'm Nicky999 on Instagram, and Jean-Luc is Terp7719, so you can follow us on Instagram as well. And let us know what you want to see. Let us know if you've tried it, if you enjoyed it.
And keep your eyes peeled for that Caesar dressing recipe. Okay,
yes,
we'll put that up soon.
Yeah, that will be another nice recipe to share, the Caesar dressing recipe. So stay tuned for that, and don't forget to subscribe and to subscribe and click on the bell below to be notified when we post new videos. And thank you so much for watching, and keeping on watching.